At last, Shin, Sakamoto, and Heisuke are reunited, and now they have begun to escape from the prison with Atari, the fortune teller of JAA. We were also shown a mysterious individual who went to Okatabi Castle, located at the top of JAA prison. Who could this man be? Will he become an obstacle for Sakamoto and his group in their escape from the said prison? Let's find out. We continue the story in Chapter 204, titled Revolution and Succession. Here, Sakamoto and his group continued their escape from JAA jail, where they took down each guard who blocked their path. An injured guard reported to their colleagues that a jailbreak was occurring at the South Utility entrance on B1, and they couldn't stop them. While putting one of the guards to sleep, Sakamoto commented that there was more security than when they entered, but that shouldn't be a problem, and they should just head to the front. As they turned into a hallway, they were immediately blocked by the JAA prison legend named Vector Man, who arrogantly said they had taken a wrong turn. However, this muscular man was all talk, as Boiled suddenly appeared and delivered a solid punch to his stomach. He told them that he wanted to join their jailbreak, to which Shin and Heisuke happily agreed. Hoshi got angry at them and called them idiots, because they were still destroying doors even though they had a card key. Shin asked if she was sure and whether she was a guard, to which Hoshi replied that it was too late for that. And besides, she had become suspicious about JA's treatment of Atari, and all she wanted now was to protect her. She asked them why they came to this place, so Shin answered that he wanted to get ESP tips from Atari. He heard someone crying, and when he looked behind him, he saw Atari sobbing, which bewildered him and made him ask why she was crying. Hoshi angrily explained that it was because they were running so fast, so she pointed out that they didn't have time to slow down. Atari replied that she wasn't crying because of that, but because she was extremely happy that she could finally leave this place. She said she really wanted that. She also explained that when she ran out of luck in Basement 2, she thought it was all over. She was terrified of what misfortune might be waiting for her. But then, she said, Shin arrived, her lucky item. She was extremely happy because of that. Their companions smiled when they heard this. Not long after, Heisuke asked what would happen now and if she would just keep Shin by her side, so she said that lucky items change daily, which shocked Shin. Boiled put his arm around Shin's shoulders and teasingly said, "Too bad." So Shin just rolled his eyes and told him not to touch him. Sakamoto pointed out that they were close to the exit, and when they destroyed the door in front of them, they arrived at a place that resembled ancient Japan. Shin wondered where they were, so Sakamoto said they were inside Okatabi Castle somewhere, which made him realize that they were indeed underneath this building. While looking around, they wondered why the security in this place was so lax. However, Atari suddenly felt something strange, and in an instant, Tanabata appeared in the middle of their group. Sakamoto tried to turn to look at this man, but it was too late as Tanabata had already strummed his guitar, causing a powerful shockwave that sent them all flying. Sakamoto immediately realized that he was from the Order, while Shin and the others couldn't believe that he had sent them flying using sonic shockwaves. Next, Tanabata took Atari, where Shin immediately tried to chase him, but he was quickly stopped by Shishiba who, while pointing his hammer at his neck, told him not to move or he would cut off his head. Osaraji went behind Heisuke and matched him with her circular saw blade. Torres also arrived here and pointed out that, just as he said, they would not be able to leave this place. When Sakamoto looked at the roof of a building there, he saw Oki standing on it. When he called him Oki, he pointed out that he should call him Mr. Oki, and not to forget that he was his boss. It seemed that he was really concerned about them, said Sakamoto, so Oki told him not to get the wrong idea, because 2 Order members were enough to kill all of them. However, he said, luck can be a fickle thing, so they were just being cautious. When Oki mentioned luck, Torres told him that Atari had run out of it, so they might be being overly cautious. Oki pointed out here that luck and misfortune are purely subjective, but that woman's ability to shift probabilities could be dangerous, given that she could warp outcomes. They wouldn't want an irregular element to disrupt their plans. Boiled whispered to Sakamoto if he was thinking what he was thinking, that the situation here was weird, to which Sakamoto agreed. While they were talking, Heisuke shouted there that didn't they have bigger targets to catch than them, and wasn't X their real enemy there? This made Oki say touche and explain that at this point, they couldn't just simply write off X. Sometimes, instead of destroying a toxin, it's better to use it to their advantage. Sakamoto's eyes widened when he heard this and asked what that meant. Next, we suddenly went to Lake Tozawa in Akita Prefecture. At a depth of 423 meters in this lake, the JAA underwater base, Branch 0, can be found. Inside, we were shown Asaki, who was nervous while asking someone how they found this place. It turns out that X was the one he was talking to, and with him were his friends, and they had already killed all the guards and staff there. Asaki tried to make small talk to buy time while also thinking about where the order was. X looked at him and asked why he was so afraid when they were just there to take what he stole. Asaki was confused by what he was referring to and pointed out whether he didn't realize how specially he had treated him in Alkmaar. However, X just stared at him again dead in the eye, so he decided to ask for forgiveness, promising that he would never bother them again, saying that he was his younger brother and he really cared about him, so he regretted hurting him. X told him that his foolish choices had brought all of this, and he would now die for the new order. In an instant, X suddenly sliced Asaki's face horizontally, sending the upper part of his head flying. Kanaguri captured all of this scene on his camera. While this was happening, we suddenly returned to the castle, and here Oki was explaining to Sakamoto and the others that they had considered their options and decided that it would be better for the order to side with X. The scene shifted again to a busy street in Japan, and we can see civilians who were puzzled, frightened, and couldn't believe what they were seeing as they stared at a live broadcast on a building of a severed head. It turns out that they were seeing X there, who, while holding Asaki's severed head, announced to all Japanese assassins that Chairman Asaki was dead, and now he was declaring the launch of the reborn JAA. Sakamoto's eyes widened upon learning this shocking information. And there you have it. What an unbelievable turn of events in this chapter. The Order, allied with X? What will happen to Sakamoto and the entire Japanese assassin world now? Let's find out in the next chapter.